Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here yet again, we are back with our hot take. I think this is the fifth episode. With me, I have my co-host, Mr. Hudson Mugweri, a very known basketball insider, pundit, journalist, an enthusiast. So, welcome to the show, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Emma. How are you doing?
We're doing good.
To the viewers, I'm happy you're enjoying the show, and it's good to be back here to take you through the sports around the world.
Yes, I see. I don't know what jersey you're putting on. Must be a college soccer jersey.
No, this is for US actually.
US.
This is for
Oh,
USA national team.
yo.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So this week, a lot happened. There was the Uganda Cup. There was also the Kawempe ladies football. Some significant strides made by Kawempe there. Also, Kitara winning their first Uganda Cup. Really signifying their project, really the success of their project. And I want to really give props to Mr. Deo Kasozi right there. Uganda Cup, it was a success story for Chitara. Uh, I think Kitara is really redefining itself, compared to the previous season, where they were they could really get promoted. Just one season later, they are relegated. But this season, they have really defined themselves in terms of management, in terms of financing, in terms of mobilization, and the success was it was seen. Even in the league, they finished fourth, just 4 points, 3 points off the eventual winners, AC Villa. That means they're going for a double. So this weekend they played the Uganda Cup final in Wankulukoko against NEC. Solomon Okwalinga's back heel goal that won them the trophy, and I would like to know your views. What's your take on the Chitara and the success story they've had this season?
I would say I'm so happy that Chitara's won the Uganda Cup, and the finalists were actually people were just promoted to the UPL League. That is NEC again NEC and Chitara won the Uganda Cup. When you look at the history of Kitara, how they started with Mark Twinamasika as the coach, from there he was fired due to the misunderstandings with the players and the management
Mm.
and the fans as well. Then we saw Sam Simba coming in. He did an incredible job promoting them to the top flight. They wouldn't agree on some few things. Simba was like, okay, guys, I'm done with what I'm doing. What next? Brian comes in, a young coach who I first saw, I think, in 2018 when he was coaching Chimanya in the Coca-Cola in
Oh
Imbaral,
yeah.
actually. That
Mm.
they lost the finals 1-0 to they lost the finals 1-0 to Budo SS. That's the first time I saw a guy who's so calm, who's so composed.
Mm.
He's not doesn't shout, he really shouts. I'm like, this young coach. You think he'll be a good guy, he'll do a good job.
Mm.
We saw him coaching UPDF last season before he joined Chitara, and you see what he did. You saw what he did. He has had a good run, but with the help of the senior players. Because when you look at the Chitara team, it has a lot of senior players. You look at the likes of Omedi, look at the likes of Frank Zaga,
Mm.
you look at the likes of Nyakojo, Paul Muchulizi, Brana Hewa, Brian Semugabi,
Mm.
Okwaringa as well. So the team itself has
Exactly.
got a
Mm.
lot of experienced players who have
Mm.
won who have won championships, who have won Uganda Cup. But
Mm.
the way the management brought the players together, and the kind of fan base they have and the kind of support they have from different corners when it comes to Chitara itself, because it's one of the clubs I've seen which has got the biggest fan base around the country, leaving SCV aside, Express aside,
Mm.
KC aside, the likes of Odumparaka, but Chitara, their fan base is on a different level. And with that, the players were like, they're so passionate of what they're doing. You know, even if they would lose a game, the fans wouldn't abuse them or shout at them. The fans would still encourage them, guys. We can go hard and we can do this.
Mm.
You know, they were like, okay, our target was to be in the top 5 of the Uganda Premier League, and they're in the top 4. Leaving that aside, they won the Uganda Cup. One next, they're going for CAF Confederations Cup qualifiers first before they join. But with that, I was listening to their CEO. I was talking. Is like, it's going to add in more players into the team so that the team is competitive. Of course, Paul Mochuli's that was his last game for Kitara because he wrote a goodbye message to them. He's leaving the club, but with with the way the club has been doing that job, we haven't had any issues of like players are not being paid money. Players get their money on time. When you talk to a few players, they're like, my money comes on time. I haven't had any issues of like I'm not being paid.
Yeah.
And even sometimes you can be moving there, the fan is giving you something. They even bring us gifts. Meaning, this community clubs start showing us how community clubs are supposed to be to
Exactly.
run. So I would say congratulations to Chitala, and I'm so happy with what they did this season, finishing fourth into the UP and winning the Uganda Cup. It is something incredible, and thanks to the players, thanks to the management, thanks to the coach for the good job they've done. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, to just add on that, Mr. Okay, these are the numbers Deo Kasozi. He had an interview and he was talking about just from their gate collection. You know, Kitara is one of the few clubs that publishes their gate collection, which is unique. You know, some teams, you know, you don't even know how much they are collecting. You know, and they're really redefining that element of the game. They said last season they collected close to 400 million. That is from the gate. Then they sold the replicas. They sold 80 million worth of replicas of their jerseys, and actually they don't even have any more replicas. Yeah. So I also wanted to put this across to you. You speaking about the coach. Yeah, the coach, the young coach, Senyondo. Yeah, Senyondo. I think. Yeah. Do you think it's time for now for clubs to really trust these young coaches that are coming from the Coca-Cola, the big league, and the ones that are coaching in the university leagues? Like, you know, you look at the Mwera Jim also with UCU. I mean, these are young coaches that really have a very different philosophy. Do you think it's about time that the Uganda Premier League really starts really believing in these young coaches and, you know, start moving away from, not really moving away from the old guys, but also trust these young players more with these teams? Because you've seen the work that Brian Senyon has done with the Kitara, quite remarkable.
I would say they need to be given an opportunity, all chances.
Mm,
Like you see his transformation from the high school to big league to
mm,
UPL.
mm,
It's his transformation has been great, and the
mm,
teams has been in, they've been performing.
mm,
Of course, I would say, of course, you are a rush to let go of our senior player,
mm,
David Obua, but
mm,
that was a decision by the management because it
mm.
was introducing something different in Ugandan football,
Yeah.
which we rarely see. So you give chance to these coaches so that they can build their thing. You give them like a season or 2 seasons so that they can build something.
Mm,
You know, a coach can't deliver within 2 or 3 months. That
mm.
is out.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
started giving the coach a full season.
Mm,
Actually, from UPDF to Chita, they gave him a good season,
mm,
and they told him which players do you want. He named the players he wanted. They sent the players he wanted, and guess what? He's like, let me work with the players I can work with. In
mm.
the process, he has gotten the results. You know,
Exactly.
at times we blame these coaches, but even the management and even the coaches needs, it can be like, I need this kind of player because I know what I'm going to do with the player.
Mm,
Not you signing a player I don't want to use. It doesn't know what I need because their players were big headed. They're like, I'm better than this coach. I can do something better than you. You know, it's
exactly.
we've seen English clubs like European clubs suffering because at times clubs want to be like want to make sales, but the
Mm,
coach is like, we don't want that player. We need this kind of player, not this kind of player. The club insists on what we need is sales, man. We need this player to be at our club because we need
mm,
sales.
Exactly.
But with that, they should allow the young coaches to do their job, and you've seen the
Mm,
results of the young coaches. A good example is what Brian has done at Chitara.
mm,
We've seen other different coaches. Even I think Bryce Stars as a young coach, I would say
mm,
that.
mm.
So the results are coming out. The results are coming out so well, and it's incredible seeing such.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, you spoke about Muchu having, but Muchu having his last. Yeah, okay, he gave his end of the season message, but it reminds me of something you once said that some of these players and coaches they talk about contracts and leaving the club because they want a new contract. And the information I got from Muchu's side, okay, his contract is ending with Kitara, but is open to negotiation. So I think he's trying to play the other card of Kitara coming on table and negotiating their contract. They really need Muchu, especially if they're going to play continental football. Yeah, the coach was talking about having adding an additional 5 players, but that unless they just want to really have that experience for the first time, but if they want to really progress to the group stages and play continental football in the group stage the way KCJ did, they really have to really go break the bank and go to the market and really sign some players, including even internationals and professionals. Yeah. So, but one thing I know about Muchu is looking forward. He's looking for he's looking for a new contract. And for me, I think Kitara should really give him a contract. He deserves a contract and he deserves really a pay rise and a contract because now they are going for content of football. And I think in the team is the only one that is really experienced. He has played group stages of all both CAF and Confederation. What do you think about that? Do you think Kitara should really break the bank and really resign Mucho?
Uh, with the way he has delivered, because he played with them in the FUFA Big League and they got promoted. He was with the
Mm,
club.
mm,
Yeah, he has played a full season with the club and they've won the Uganda Cup. He's one of the experienced players they have at Chitara. Leaving Frank Zaga side, leaving Brana Heber side is one of the experienced players they have at the club. Even Crispus Kusima is also one of the experienced players because we saw him winning the championship at Express.
mm,
He was their second keeper.
mm,
Then from there, he went to Gaddafi. Now is in Chitara. Is another experienced player they have, and is now being summoned the national team as well.
mm,
Meaning he has done a good job this season.
mm,
So I would say Chitara can still talk to Paul Mochurizi and they negotiate. They sit down. They be like, you know what, we still need you here because
mm,
the club first of all they got some good amount of money
mm.
getting off 400 million from the good collections and over 80 million from selling replicas. It is
Mm,
something
mm.
incredible. So just
They should
that
start
is
it
that
up.
is that, yeah. Because they need results as well next season.
Yeah,
You know, you're,
exactly.
you're, 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 you're you're seeing you're seeing big clubs signing players. You're seeing big clubs waking up. Now KCS so far signed big players. Vipers is in talks with different players. So Bull is also in talks with different players. So it is now
Mm,
these big clubs are waking up. They're like, you know what, we need to deliver because they need to go and play contender football. They need to get that money off from CAF as well.
mm,
Because as long as you're to contender football, you're getting some money from CAF.
mm.
Yeah. That's the beauty
Yeah,
of football. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. That was our take on the Uganda Cup and Chitara, the success story of Chitara. Yeah, what a success story, and we hope like next season, this in the coming season, they really progress and play the Confederation. They really progress in the CAF Confederation preliminary stages, which is a bit intense in terms of the money needed. Just traveling alone, that's around $90,000 just per one game and but CAF only pays you when you qualify. I think when the second premium is they give you if you have like TV rights they give you like $15,000, but they really need to mobilize funds from the whole of the kingdom, people of Hoima, Masindi. They have to really mobilize funds for the team to really perform very well. But I am trust the management there, Deo Kasozi, and also the CEO. So we hope they really have a success story also in the on the continent. So let's move on. Let's move on to the big league. Last time we were here talking about the teams that you believe that would qualify. You mentioned Bali Heroes, Lugazi. Yeah, you mentioned Lugazi. But actually, by that time when we spoke, I think Police had already qualified. Yeah. So you mentioned Lugazi and Bali Heroes, and you're absolutely right and spot on. Those are the teams that qualified the past weekend. We'll start with Mbale Heroes. Yeah, the last time they were in they were in the league, that's I think 2006, 2007, they relegated with the likes of Mukono United. Yeah, but it's also a community team. You know, we've been speaking about Kitara and how they've really organized their board, their management, and also the community has really backed them up. Bali Heroes also it's not so different from Chitara, but for me, I've grown up in Bali, born and raised in Bali. I know those people. There's always rank wars with the management, excom. Uh, you're right. They've really qualified in the league. What do you expect from Baleros this coming season? Before we talk about how they should really mobilize and arrange their excom executive committee and follow also the Kitara model. Hello, hello. Yes, also. Hello, 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 Hudson. I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
So well.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hold on a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where do we stop? I was talking about Bali Heroes. I don't know whether you picked up from there.
Yeah, talking about the big. We're talking about Mbare Heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course. The last played in Uganda Premier League in Star Times Uganda Premier League. That's played in 2006.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy. I'm so happy they're back into the league. It's a community, and one of the leaders is the big politician in Mbale region. That's Nandala Mafabi, one of the leaders who went to finance the club. Uh, it is something so good to see a politician funding the club
Mm,
and so much. Uh, it's a community club.
mm,
I'll request one thing from Mbale Heroes, the fans.
mm.
They need to first one thing, discipline is key. Because if
Exactly.
they start fighting, we saw what happened to F. That's what happened to Express fans. Some of them were arrested.
mm,
Some of them went to as far as the court. Some of them were fined.
mm,
Some of them were watching Uganda Premier League.
mm.
They need to be disciplined. It's a caution because I was told they love fighting so much. They need to be disciplined. They need to be civilized.
Mm,
This is football. Football changed completely. Football completely
exactly.
changed
Mm,
because now I can sit with a Villa fan and I'm watching the game and we are arguing, we are laughing, we are doing what?
mm,
Yeah, you know. So I'm happy they're back into the league
mm,
after over a decade. They're back into the league.
mm.
Seeing a community club back into it, we shall see going east, Eastern Uganda. Of course, now we had Bull was the east. Now when you add on Mbale, of course, Gada is out of UPL as well as
Mm.
Busoga is also out of UPL, but now Mbale Heroes into it there. You have Bull as well. Still, Eastern has got some teams. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
football is moving around. It's now moving around regional ways because you
yeah.
can see that every region is well represented, apart from West Nile, which doesn't have
Mm,
any team in them. After Odupaka not qualifying to the EPL and then
mm.
Arua Hill being relegated because
Relegated,
of
yeah.
not handling some, not finalizing with some paperwork or some issues.
Okay.
Lugazi is into the Uganda Premier League.
Mm,
One, it is one of the clubs I told you about. I need the Uganda Premier because of, remember we used to have Lugazi's call those years.
yeah,
One of
exactly.
the teams which will produce a lot of talent in Uganda here.
Mm.
Yeah.
There was Kakira.
Yeah,
Is
when you look
Kakira?
at some
There
players, I
was
tell you
also
a graph from
Kakira. Mm.
Lugas, the likes of Watek. Oh, look, Wadada is also
Yeah.
there. You know,
Mm.
these are, yeah. So
Hello?
as we play national,
Yes.
everyone is like, oh, who is this? So
Yeah.
Waswa came from the Uganda Crane,
Mm.
Wadada from Lugazi, and
Mm.
many others. I'm happy to see regions like Lugazi as a team
Mm.
into the Uganda Premier League. You look at Luzira or Zalent as a team like Maroons in the Uganda Premier League.
Yeah.
So there are some regions where we need to see teams from there. Bugembe doesn't have Bugembe team.
Mm.
Walukuba's Bolo is in Masasa Walukuba.
Mm.
Uh, they've been there before. Now Mbale also has a team.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get you. I'm getting you. Go on. Yeah, I'm getting you. I'm getting Hudson. Go on, yeah. I don't know if it's my internet or. Hello? Yes, Hudson. Mm-hmm.
Yes, hello.
Yeah,
Wait
yes.
a minute.
Okay.
A minute.
All right, all right. Yes, as you wait for Hudson, uh, yeah, so the Lugazi is a bit, Lugazi, we shall always mirror Lugazi with Chetume. You know, uh, Chetume has also been in the league. It was just a community team. They had the same kind of project with Lugazi. They constructed their own stadium, but it's the issue comes with management. Having a very vibrant ESCO members. The funds to be fully behind the team, and also mobilization of funds because the Uganda Premier League is very expensive with traveling, and also players these days are very expensive. Signing of these players, their contracts. Usually, clubs in the Uganda Premier League work with 2 years, especially new clubs that have come in the Uganda Premier League. Their contract is between 3 years, 1 year, 2 years, 1 year. So they should not come with the mentality of selling players because you don't have the capacity to give these players 3, 4, 5 years contract like Vipers, KCCA. So they'll have to work with 2 years. That is just to help them be sustained in the league. That's one advice because I've been a CEO in the Uganda Premier League, and that's what I would really give to the management of Lugazi. Work with 1 year, 2 years of contracts, and you see how you can re-establish yourself in the league and grow from there. But you should be very aware that the players are very expensive, and you should work within your means. Have a salary cap and have a thinner squad, but very productive. Yeah, as I'm also waiting for Hudson here. Let me see if I can have him back. Yes, Hudson. Yeah, I see he's back here. A moment, please. Mm. Hello, Hudson. Hudson, can you hear me? I can see you.
Very well. I can hear you very well.
All right,
I can
yeah.
hear you very well.
Yeah, so we have Hudson back. We're still talking about Lugazi. Earlier on, when you're not on, I was still having a moment. I was talking about how they should really redefine their wage bill because that's one thing that really happened in Chetwe. We had a bigger squad, not productive, and you had to pay this squad. So they should work within a smaller squad that they can afford. And the players these days in the Uganda Premier League, they are very expensive. So having 24, 25 players, that is the maximum I can give them. And two 1 year contracts because they don't have the capacity to sign 5 years as KCC or Vipers because right now they should really focus, even Mbali should really focus on uh, remaining in the league, especially in the first 2 seasons. That's the most difficult one. It has failed, even Arua Hills, I think. It has failed Chetume, and the only team that has done it very well is Wakiso Giants. Yeah, they have a manageable squad, and their wage bill is not all that big. So that's one thing I wanted to add on the Lugazi thing. But you're still saying something about Lugazi.
No, I would say I'm just happy that they're into the league. Though the league, when it comes to getting back, when it comes getting like the winner, how much does the winner make? How much is number 10 getting after the season? Of course,
Mm,
it's little money,
mm,
but from selling tickets, from selling jersey replicas, they
mm,
can make money like how we've seen in Kitara, how we've seen with
mm,
other clubs, how they've made money off selling
mm,
replicas of
mm,
the ticketing bit of it,
mm,
calling upon fans to come watch their games, making sure that their social media handles are so active because
mm,
literally the digital world took over. Someone will be like, I want to see which position is Lugazi, and they're not seeing anything on the social media pages of the club. They're like, but seriously, is this club serious? Because
mm,
the airlines really watch the games, but they'll be like, there's a fundraising campaign happening at my team in Lugazi, and this is the number you have to send money on. And because it's on social media, someone will send you money for taking care of a few things at the club. So
mm,
generally, they have to make sure the club is marketed so well.
mm,
We've seen how KC has done it. We've seen how Villa's woken up. We've seen how Vipers is doing it. We're seeing how Chitara has done a good job. We saw how Arua Hill came on with fire, and everyone is like, wow, we need to see more of Arua Hill.
mm,
How Baraka came with fire as well. So we need to see that consistency from the clubs. And at the end of the day, the end goal is for them to stay in the Premier League.
mm,
And also, after 2 or 3 seasons,
mm.
they're contenders. So we need to see that from them, yes.
Yeah, and the Arua Hill story, we'll have another day to talk about the Arua Hill story because I remember they even had a bus. We never saw the bus again. Man, Ugandan football, man, it's just optics. You don't know how They had the bus, we never saw the bus. The club also, the chairman also rings like, for me, I've given up with the club. Let me just, that's the story of Uganda football. Yeah, so anyway, let's talk about this a little bit. The ticketing prices of the Uganda Cranes. You know, Uganda Cranes will be playing Botswana. We had this chat me and you via messages. I just wanted to just give me a comment. Let me move on to the NBL. For the first time, we're having record-breaking prices. I don't know where the justification is coming from. Most people would want to know where the justification is coming from. Though for me, I have my reasons. I think just because of the refurbished Nambole, you know, the pricing of Nambole it has changed. Yesterday's price is not today's price, as the famous rapper says. Nambole has been refurbished. The operation costs are very high, and I'm sure they're even charging a higher price for to FUFA to host their games there. So FUFA has to really make up from the ticketing, and I think that's the reason why the ticket is uh, is uh, is expensive. But these are the prices. 25,000, that's ordinary if you're just having a seat. 50, that is VIP. Then I think there's 70 platinum or something. What could be the justification for the pricing? What would you give your justification for the pricing?
The price is now as football at 15. This is club football. Things are changing every now and then.
Mm,
When it comes to the national team, we spent over 5 years without hosting any game at Nambole, and now we are hosting the qualifiers at Nambole. 25,000 isn't something big, but on top of that, they did that thing of double ticketing, 40K for two games. That's
mm,
20,000.
mm,
Some game, yeah. So the pricing is so fair.
mm,
The pricing is so fair because even at club the last day
mm,
league thing range from 10K to 20K, and the West without someone saying, this is too much money. Someone can
mm.
be like, man, this is now like border money because now roughly 25,000 is like border. Let me say from Kampala to Munyonyo, then you come back. That's 25,000.
Mm.
you know, so
Uh,
so so to me, I would say it's not it's not something big, and the fans really love football. The fans really love their national team. The fans want to see their players
mm,
from the different clubs play on the national team, and the players who are being summoned
mm,
are talented players. Not the thing of like this is a friend of a coach he has been summoned. No, these are
mm,
players. They made a statement. That's why they're national team.
mm,
So adds all love football, and we know how Ugandans love football. They'll be at Nambole and they'll support the game. Though I'm requesting FUFA and the
mm,
organizing committee in terms of security, they make sure
mm,
that security is so well, not only inside the stadium, but even outside on the roads as well.
mm,
Because this thing of thugs beating up people, it is something not good at all. Yeah, we need to make sure that no one is dead, no one has been robbed,
mm.
or going back home happy after a game and they're like lost in it at the end of the day. So, and also FUFA should be somewhat organized when it comes to things of like the northern, then you reach the northern gate, they're like you're supposed to go. We need to see something so well organized,
Mm,
and at the end of the day, we need results, and the fans will be happy with what because going to we know that at Nambole getting a win there is something easy for the Cranes, but it's hard for the visiting team. So at the end of the day, we need to see the fans jubilating as
mm.
Cranes, and we need to see us qualify to the next level.
Absolutely. Yeah, security is key, man. Especially these days, man. You're seeing man, kids are coming up with round kicks, man. Round kicks all over the place, man. You have to really be careful. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to
Mhm.
the NBL. A lot has been happening on in the NBL, the basketball scene. We've seen players leave City Oilers. We're still there still settling with the news of Jimmy Enabu and James Okello leaving. Just a few days ago, we get a shock again. The way you see the shock move of Tony Drileba. Could I be right to say that there must be something in the boardroom, in the boardroom at City Oilers that we don't know about, that these players are leaving. Anyway, last weekend, Grace Pizzer, I think the GM, had a sit down with Brian Kawalia of the Sports Nation, and he categorically came out and said that these players are getting offers outside Uganda, Rwanda for James Okello, then Burundi for Jimmy Enabu, and they're paying them huge sums of money. What he pays Jimmy Enabu in a month, in a year, they're paying him in a month. That's what he came up with. That was Grace Kwizera. Uh, for me, because I've tried to manage a dressing room, and when such things happen, there must be a fallout. Maybe they're peppering off they're patching off the issues. But for you, an insider, basketball insider, what are you getting? What are you reading from that side regarding the situation at Oilers?
The departure of the three big players who were national team players as well from City Oilers was shocking, but some of us it wasn't shocking enough because there are rumors since last season of the players not being in good terms with the management. Though I'm happy with the PR of City Oilers, though they handled the situation and nothing came out negative until we saw the shocking news of Jimmy Enabo, James Okoye leaving Oilers, and then we saw another one who has been there for over 9 years. Tony Dweliba also leaving the club, the point guard leaving the club, and information has it that he may be heading to DR Congo, where he got a good deal. And then also another player might leave this week. Ivan Mwez is also another long-serving player, might leave this week. When you look at it, all the players who are leaving the club are long-serving players of the club. They've been there for over 7 years and above. They're done leaving the team, meaning they've done everything. They've won the championship for the club. It's time for them to move on. Though I would say they are somehow late. They're somehow late because they've been getting offers, and they have the thing of like, let me start Oilers, but they've been getting offers outside there, and they haven't been using it. They woke up after some disagreements with the management, which is still inside, but with the information I got, of course, there are some disagreements with the management. It started from BAL to where it is right now. Because when you see after BAL, this when the senior players left the club. Actually, I think Oilers played 1 or 2 games, and then went next when we saw the players being released. But generally, I would say the club has sit down, sort out their issues inside their issues, because it's one of the most organized clubs we know in Ugandan basketball.
Exactly.
Having such issues into the club, it is so shocking. We don't want to see a club like Oilers falling out like how we saw how Falcons did it after Steve Omonyi leaving the club. We saw what happened with Falcons. They're still in the lower flight, struggling. That vision struggling. We saw how Power somehow struggled because of financial issues and because still the players having issues with the club. But I'm happy they're back into the drawing board, and they're somewhere. Of course, I'll give credit to some clubs, like university team like UCU, still being in the top flight and being competitive. Still, Oilers is a big plus. Not forgetting Power. KIU also a university team and they're still competing. Though we don't see Warriors, Chambog Warriors into the league because of financial issues. But to clubs like Namongo Blazers, to clubs like KIU Titans, I would say it's their time now to step up. And we see a new champion. We see a new champion because all the fans out there want to see a new champion. Because after 9 seasons of Oilers dominating the league, what next? The big name players have left the club. Of course, they still have talent is still within Oilers. I
mm,
can't say the talent is done. They've got
mm,
a lot of talent in there, but that experience of Jimmy Enabo, James Okello, and Tony
mm.
Duliba, because these are playoffs players. When it
Yeah,
comes to playoffs, that's when you be like, I'm seeing the beast from Jimmy Enabo. I'm seeing a crazy James Okello. I'm seeing a
mm,
nonsense Tony Duliba. And they've all
mm,
left the club at the same
mm,
time.
mm,
So it's time for other clubs to step up and be like, you know what, we can do this. We can also be champions. What next? Representing the country at BAL,
mm,
and we're delivering. So generally,
mm,
Oilers losing players is a shock. It's shocking, and at the wrong time in the middle of the season.
mm,
But I'm sure they will do something as the management. They
mm,
organize their their house and
mm.
they come back strong. That's the thing we're hoping for, because and even whether the players left the club, and these are legends, big Ghana basketball
Yeah, huge,
from
big
the
names.
club
Mm.
wasn't at all wasn't professional at all. I would say that. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, speaking of power, okay, these are the games that happened last weekend, the NBL. Sunday, that was the 26th, Nabisunsa winning against JKL Dolphins, Nabisunsa 47, JKL Dolphins 102, Magic Stormers 60, A1 Challenge 56, and DJ Angels. We'll speak about this one here. DJ Angels 69, the Mark Power 72. That was a tight one. Then Blazers running riot over our savior. Then JT Jaguars 56, KIU 82, almost double digits. The game against DJ the Mark Power was really tight. Halftime, Deji was leading already in halftime, and the likes of Clinton Omondi coming up with double doubles, 13 points, 13 rebounds. The game was won in the fourth quarter. Eventually, Power winning 72, uh, 69, and Deji Angels. And the league so far, we have Blazers still on top. I don't know what's your prediction for the league, but we have the Blazers. You're talking of KIU Titans, Jaguars, City Whalers also there with 14 games so far. They might really patch up, come up with those points. KCC Panther and UC Cannons. I think these are the teams that will make the playoffs.
I would say the power versus in the J game was so interesting. Power needed this win badly in order for
Mm.
them to be
Close
on
the
the safe
gap.
side in terms of relegation, and also
Mm.
try to be like we can easily close the gap when it comes to playoffs.
Mm.
Uh, Credit to Elvis Sentongo, who gave us a dub as well when it comes to points.
Yeah.
Fidra delivered as well with the experience they have. Clayton Omondi did his job.
Okay.
Soro did his job when it comes to rebounds. He picked up the rebounds. He made assists as well. Imran did an incredible job as well with
Mm.
the rebounds and also the points he
Mm.
gave. Not forgetting Elvis Motevi also did a good job. But I would say the fourth quarter Power came back strong, because you saw
Mm.
how they scored over 25 points in the fourth quarter,
Mm.
and they were fighting. They're like, let's fight so hard so to win this game, because the
Yeah.
teams which can't beat Power right now, they just can't beat Power. They just been losing games and they can't beat Power right now.
Mm.
So when they lose to such a team, everyone will start asking questions. What will happen to Power?
Yeah.
They recently lost to KIU 100
Mm.
with over 100 points. You know,
Mm.
they recently lost to KIU, and everyone was like, wow, 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 wow. What is this? What is this? You know.
Triple digits.
Leaving that aside, uh, triple digits. Yeah, leaving that aside, looking at the Namongo Blazers, with the bringing back of Jimmy, the one we call Jimmy Buckets,
Yeah.
Jimmy D,
Mm.
is back into the team, and these his
Was
first two
cooking over
games,
the weekend.
his first two games, he
Mm.
has given us good numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has given us good numbers. Credit to how the team is playing. They're playing
Mm.
team basketball, not individual basketball. We saw the game against UCU, one of the most best offensive game I've watched in Uganda this season, Uganda basketball this season, because it was full of, when it comes to scoring points. Defensively, teams were poor, but offensively, teams were so good. It's one of the most offensive games I've watched. It was so interesting, whereby both teams were delivering and both teams were doing a good job of offensively. Defensively, well, a lot of loopholes, because I saw crazy turnovers from the issue side as well as the Mongo Blazers. But generally, everyone on Friday enjoyed that basketball game, and they left. They were like, you know what? Indeed, I've enjoyed this game. People are like so happy to watch such kind of basketball. People watching Chuma scoring over 30 points.
Wow.
Again, his former bosses. That's UCU. But at the end of the day, we enjoyed basketball, and a few things they need to. UCU has to work on a few things, mainly the defense and reducing on the turnovers. And the also at times messing around. The Toy is also doing the same thing. But I'll generally say the league is moving on so well. Right now, I can't determine who's going to win the championship, but among us, the 4 teams, UCU, City Oilers, KIA, and Namungo Blazers, one of them will be champion. We shall see how the playoffs start off, and now, because basketball is into the playoffs, not in regular season. Someone can give you over 100 points, but if it comes to playoffs, it's different. So let's see how the playoffs will be. Yeah.
Speaking of basketball, that was NBL with our expert and insider, Hudson Mugweri. We'll also jump on, we'll go international, we'll talk about the NBA. Your Timberwolves, you had so much hopes with the Timberwolves, but tonight they look to be swept by the Mavs. I think they're going to be swept. The Indiana Pacers, for them, they were swept. There's no problem. Celtics clinched the Eastern Conference Final. The game was played, I think, this morning, 1-0, 105, 102. The Siakams and the group, they will have to fight again next season. Jalen Brown and Tatum, Drew Holiday, the Celtic, they really head to the NBA Finals again. Let's start with the Mavs. I actually also had hopes with the Timberwolves, but surprisingly, they are going to be swept tonight. Unless there's something happens and they force a game 5. Yeah.
The Timberwolves, I was just happy with one thing. Them beating Nuggets. I wanted to see a new champion into the NBA. When they beat Nuggets, and the attitude of Edwards, his attitude makes you love that kid, because at a 20-year-old, the way he talks is a real leader. At 22, but he's talking and encouraging his teammates. Let's go. Actually, he said it even. He's like, 3 games down, it's not something big. We can still come back. Meaning, he still has this heart of like, I can beat Mavs. Though when it comes to Mavs, they've got 2 of the best. They've got 2 of the best clutch players. Luka Doncic and Irving are a problem when it comes to clutch times. And you see what they're doing in all the 3 games. They're coming up into last minutes of the game, and they're closing the games up by themselves. It's either Luka is always making that last basket, but what Irving does in the fourth quarter, in the last 3 minutes of the game, is something so different. It really shows that, I'm being experienced here. Is one of the best ball handlers. I was looking at Edwards. He would get tired, because marking a guy like Irving is a big problem. Irving is a beast when it comes to ball handling. When it comes to handling that ball.
The best handles. Exactly.
True. Leaving that aside, for Pacers, I've not been a Celtics fan, but Pacers, when Halliburton was out of the game, the 3rd game and the 4th game, and when they lost the 3rd game, they gave away a 15-point lead. They gave away that lead, and they let Celtics take the game and win that game. I told myself, this is done. This is done. But the person we can't forget in Celtics is Holiday. the defense,
Yeah, God.
that defense Holiday has
Wow.
got. That's why he's on the national team of this.
Yeah.
He's one of the most defensive
Mm.
guards people don't talk about.
Yeah. A point
One of
guard
the best
who can
defensive guards
defend. Very rare. Yeah.
in NBA.
Yeah. Very rare. You even see the
True.
Kyrie Irving, they cannot
Yeah.
do that. Yeah. They cannot
Eh,
defend and do and point guard.
True.
Very unique player,
Yeah.
Drew Holiday. Yeah, okay. This is
Mm.
these are the scores. Let me first read out the scores.
So
The Mavs. Mm. Mavs
mm,
on the okay, they're going to sweep. When they're on the brink of sweeping the team, Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 3, 106 to 116. Luka had 33 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Uh, then there was that alley hoop that he gave. Man, the guy is cooking. He's doing a lot of things. And Wolves, they try to double team Luka, but as you're right, you get tired. You cannot double team Luka, especially when most of the players are clutch. You double team in, he swings it
mm.
on the side, and somebody just drops a three. So it's going to really, it was really hard for them. They have to really devise their game plan. I think that will be for next season. Let's pray that they manage to win today and they force a game five, but that is going to really be hard for the Timber Wolves. Yeah, so let's move on very fast. Let's close this with the FA Cup. The Manchester United of all the teams, uh we have been really looking at our eyes and our hopes have been on Arsenal City. Not forgetting that Arsenal
Uh,
won't win anything. Eh? Arsenal won't win anything, and their bitter rivals. Man U are going to really go home with the FA Cup. Did you really? What did you really expect Manchester United to win the game against City? I kind of really predicted it because I feel like Manchester could really match City and they have their number.
I would frankly say I didn't expect Manchester to win this game. I didn't expect them to win this game.
Mm,
But with the spirit of the players, how the players played that football, I can't forget that pass from Bruno Fernandes.
mm.
It's still in my head the way he passed the ball to Mino.
Yeah,
Kobe Mino is still in
could
my
be
head. I'm
minor,
like,
man.
this guy is just he has the vision. Yeah, it's just the vision. But the pass
Mm,
from Bruno Fernandes
mm,
was the highlight. Not the goal, but the pass from Bruno Fernandes was the highlight. I'm like, what a
mm.
pass. I told myself, I even
What a
told the person I
pass.
was with, I'm like, have you seen that pass? Guys, like, guy was celebrating the goal. Guy was celebrating the goal. I'm like, leave the goal aside. Have you seen
Sorry,
the
the
pass from Bruno
pass.
Fernandes?
Exactly.
the guy
Self-awareness.
was like,
Mm.
the guy was like, the guy told me, school now. The guy just told me one thing, school down with analysis is really too much.
But the
I'm
pass
like,
was
I'm
good.
like,
Yeah, the pass was good.
I'm like,
The pass was good.
the pass was good.
Yeah.
Also, Ganacho's first goal, Ganacho's
Mm,
goal, the way he put pressure on the defender and the keeper
mm,
moved out, and
yeah.
what next? He scored an empty net,
Mm,
an empty net. I would say Manchester fought so hard. Then seeing Kevin De Bruyne being substituted in the 56th minute, I'm like, what is Pep Guardiola trying to do? Because he's quite a midfielder at that
mm,
time, whereby he has like over 33 minutes or even 40 minutes,
mm,
and you're substituting a guy at that time.
mm,
What does it say? Mad. I'm like,
yeah.
what is it trying to prove? What is it trying to show? You know.
Mm. But
But generally, Manchester played
mm,
good football.
mm,
Uh, watching Amrabat with a kind of actually
mm.
in the last 3 games of of Manchester, Amrabat has gone one of the best players for Manchester United.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. You're right. Yeah.
is
Mm,
a beast into that midfield, and you saw what he did there.
mm.
Uh, the
Very
Martinez
solid.
coming back into the central
Mm,
defense. Uh, it was a good addition to Manchester United. And at
yeah.
the end of the day, you saw what he did to Haaland.
Mm,
He was bullying him and doing everything
yeah.
to the guy. And Haaland doesn't want that kind of
Yeah, the
defenders. We've seen him
pressure
struggle
go all
against
over him. Yeah.
Arsenal this season
Mm,
because of the defenders bullying him. Yes.
yeah.
So generally, I would say congratulations to Manchester United on winning the FA Cup, and now they're going to play Europa football. I'm
Mm,
happy they won it, and such a big club winning the FA,
mm,
now coming back into European football.
mm.
It is so interesting. Though Chelsea was now thrown into Europa Conference League.
Poor Chelsea,
Uh,
man. Poor Chelsea.
yeah,
Poor
yeah.
Chelsea. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you feel like it's something we need to see, something we need
Mm,
to see, and I'm happy. I'm happy Manchester is back into European football. So at the end of the day, I would say congratulations, Manchester United, and let me hope Eric Ten Hag is still with the club. He won't be
mm.
fired. Like how
Yeah.
the specialists are saying now. The rumor is that he may
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
fired, but let me hope he stays with
I
the club
wanted to
because he's
ask
trying
you.
to build something. You need to give
Yeah.
such a
I
man. They're trying
wanted.
to build something.
Yeah.
If
But
it
yeah.
fails,
Yeah.
if it fails,
I wanted to
if it
ask
fails
you.
next season, he can be fired. But now let's give him
Yeah.
time.
I wanted to ask you about
Mm.
the Ten Hag situation, because looking at what he has managed to achieve, bringing in Kobe Mainoo, what a player, trusting the Garnachos. Uh, the other is a defender, Mwamba, something like that. I mean, you see that the problem is not the coach. I wanted to ask you this question, as you may talking about. Would you give him a chance? Would you still stick with him? Yeah, regardless. But either way, there are no good coaches out there anymore. If Bayern is still struggling and getting company, you get there are no good coaches anymore out there, man. Most teams have really locked up some of these coaches. So would you really stick with Ten Hag next season if you had the choice?
I would, as much as I should. Some people are saying they should let go of him, but
Mm,
they're forgetting that the club struggled so much.
mm.
The club was hit by a crisis of injuries.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
This season, yeah, yeah.
that central that that central defense,
Mm,
a player wouldn't last for over 5 games. After 5 games, is down,
mm,
and before this one comes, another one is also down.
mm,
Yeah, they struggled so much with a lot of injury. Yeah, and he gambled with the team. He did the gambling. Though at times you make decisions, I'm like, this is competitive. Then also fighting with the fighting with the players. We saw Sancho leaving Manchester United,
mm,
going to Borussia Dortmund on loan,
mm,
because he's fighting with the players. We saw the interview of Cristiano Ronaldo. I was talking about him.
mm.
Um, Generally, he needs to cool down his ego,
Ego, yeah.
his pride, and he's
Mm,
like, you know what?
mm,
Yeah, let me work with players. Let me have a good
mm,
relationship with the players,
mm.
so that at the end of the day, we're getting results. But the club should give him some time, to give him a
Yeah,
season, because he's trying to build something. They made the mistake of letting go of Van Gaal, and what happened?
yeah.
They struggled because Van Gaal
The
was trying to
struggle.
build something.
Mm,
Van Gaal was trying to build something, and they rushed to let go of him.
mm,
And now every season, every after 2 seasons, we are seeing a new coach, a new coach, a new coach. The
mm,
consultant said the former take, caretaker, he practically said
mm,
the club has a lot of problems from the management to the
mm,
players. We start with the management first. They should sort themselves and management out before we talk about the players and the coaches.
mm.
So the management has to do something about their office before you come back to the players and the coaches. But generally,
Exactly.
it was a good season for Manchester because you didn't go
Mm.
trophyless. You won something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Arsenal, the famous elephant just fell off the cliff like that. But anyway, before we really close this up, we're going to talk about the Champions League. I think this weekend we are going to have the Champions League. By the time we come back next Tuesday, we should really. So you have to give me a prediction. Who do you think is going to win? It's Borussia Dortmund against Real Madrid. Real Madrid going for their 15th European trophy, and Dortmund is going for its second. What's your prediction for this Champions League? Yeah,
I'm giving it to Real Madrid.
I don't know. For me, I don't know. I have a feeling. I have something telling me that Dortmund is going to win this trophy. You saw what happened with Bayer Leverkusen with
And Madrid
Atalanta.
is winning it. And Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah.
I
So,
saw
but
Atalanta, and then Lukman giving us a hat trick. Me
yeah,
as an African, I was happy to see Nigeria doing a good job. Nigerian breaking things for, as in taking
yeah,
down Bayer Leverkusen, and Bayer Leverkusen didn't
exactly.
have any solution, and Atalanta played this kind of
Suffocated them.
defensive football.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, they won their game. They won their game. But for Madrid, with that kind of attacking force,
Mm.
and Dortmund, we saw Dortmund has been surviving. We saw them survive against PSG, how they survived
Mm.
against PSG.
Mm.
Uh, Woodworks became woodworks. People were just hitting goalposts instead of into the net. But
Yeah.
with the Madrid attacking force,
Mm.
and a person like Jude Bellingham and a person like
Hello. Uh,
Vinicius, yeah,
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
hello,
Yeah. Hello. I can hear you now. Yeah.
can
I
you get
get you.
me?
Yeah. I can get you. I can get you.
Yeah,
Mm. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you so
yeah.
much.
Win the Champions League, I'm on
Mm.
the Ballon d'Or. So
Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Emma.
Yeah, Mr. Edson, thank you so much, so much. It was a wonderful show. We talked about a lot of things, and we are streaming this live both on YouTube and Facebook. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, and you can also follow Hudson on Twitter, Hudson Mugweri on Twitter, Sports256 on Twitter. I want to thank you. Cheers. Bye bye.